Well, we're going to get more on this story now with France 24's Noga Tarnopolsky in Jerusalem. Noga, tell us more then about the kinds of things Albanese is being accused of, and have we seen any reactions to this announcement?
Good morning, Karis. We have not had much reaction to this in Israel because she's not as well-known a figure here. But I have to say that Francesca Albanese has made herself something of an easy target. She is well-known for accusing a Jewish lobby of managing international policy. She has accused Israel, we heard slightly in this quote, but much more extensively in her other statements, of managing an economy of executions. I think I'm quoting correctly. She's been accused of anti-Semitic statements by France, Germany, and Canada. So the fact that the United States chose in this case to impose sanctions on her because of her support for the ICC, I view as much more a support of a general U.S. policy that opposes the notion of international justice and the International Criminal Court, which is a UN body. But Francesca Albanese has been, I think, an easy target for significant criticism from many Western countries for quite a few years now.
Meanwhile, Noga, as indirect talks for a ceasefire in Gaza continue, Hamas has said it will release 10 hostages from the Strip. Do we have any more information about how these talks are moving along, especially as US President Donald Trump has been very optimistic about the timeline?
Yes, we don't really have any information, and it's unclear if there's any advance whatsoever in the talks in Doha, and it's also unclear to what extent these talks matter. There's a sense here in Jerusalem that the talks that matter are those that were being held between Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, or at least Prime Minister Netanyahu hoped so. He also hoped to extend his stay in Washington through the weekend, and his associates were leaking to the Israeli media, the pool that accompanied the Prime Minister to Washington, that he was going to end up staying through the weekend, because of the importance of these ongoing talks. That was implication. In fact, the White House almost immediately announced that the president is going to be spending Sunday enjoying a football match, I think France against someone, with the Emir of Qatar, notably. And so Netanyahu is leaving D.C. actually today. I don't want to say with his tail between his legs, but certainly without having been able to deliver what Donald Trump asked for him, which is a signed agreement. The White House was very eager to have an agreement this week. They're exerting some pressure on Qatar for it in turn to exert pressure on Hamas. Certainly, there was an attempt to influence Prime Minister Netanyahu. And now we're hearing, even from the White House and from Steve Witkoff, President Trump's envoy to these talks, that this could drag on through next week. So while we still are hearing optimistic sentiments from the leaders involved, as if what they really want is to be able to say they have a deal, it does not appear that we have a deal in hand. And Israel threw a significant wrench into the spanner by announcing a few days ago through the defense minister that it was planning to concentrate the entire population of Gaza in a very narrow strip of land near the Egyptian border. That has apparently completely thrown whatever talks there were into disarray.
All right, Noga, thank you very much for keeping an eye on that for us. Noga Tarnopolsky in Jerusalem.